I was a little late coming here because my neighbor confused me for their Uber driver, so I had to follow through with the stereotype and drop them off. I'm just kidding, my husband doesn't let me drive. I'm also kidding, I don't have a husband. I'm single. I'm 27 and single, which to my parents means that I'm old enough to be a mother of 3, but I'm too young to be allowed to stay out past 10 p.m. So I'm an engineer, but I'm still trying to do that math. My parents are super overprotective, and I never knew why for the longest time growing up, but then I realized it's because they have this paranoid idea of who I am versus like who I actually am in real life. Like, they're convinced I'm currently dating 5 to 7 guys at the same time and low-key going to strip clubs anytime I leave the house at night. Whereas the real me, up until last week, I thought Trojan Fire and Ice was a gum flavor. Like, sometimes I wish I was as cool as my parents accuse me of being. So, okay, for example, in undergrad, I did engineering, and in our final year, we had a really intense project. We used to stay in the lab till like 3 a.m., go home, come back at 7 a.m. So I did that, and I wasn't home a lot. And my dad comes up to me, and in the straightest face, he's like, "Salma, are you living with someone?" I was like, "Dad, I can't even get a guy to tag me in a meme, let alone like ask me to move in with him. Like, your expectations are way high. Like, the last man who's seen me naked was my doctor at birth? Like, you need to remember, I'm an engineer, like, my social skills are not the smoothest. Recently, though, I started to become less innocent. Yeah, I recently received my first ever dick pic. Yes, please don't cheer, it was traumatic! Okay, this is how I got it. Like, I got it on Instagram as a DM, and Instagram has a 2-step verification process to protect you from exactly these situations. So, I got a DM, and then I messaged my nephew. I was like, "Yo, is this a dick pic?" He was like, "Okay, here's how you know. Just like, open the message, tap it once, you'll see a blurred outline, and you'll be able to tell." I was like, "Okay." So then I sent him a screenshot. I was like, "Well?" He was like, "I don't know, man. You're just going to have to do the final tap." I was like, "Okay, I'm going to have to see it one day." So I open the message. I tap it once. I take a deep breath. And I do the final tap. And it is a photo of a verse from the Quran. Like, this could not have been on the extreme opposite end of the spectrum than what I was expecting. The guy was like, "Don't forget your readings." But then a week later, I got a real dick pic, and even though I haven't seen any other dicks in my life, I just knew that this was an ugly one. Like, no thank you, sir. My parents, they moved here in the 70s. They had all my older siblings and then me. But after they had me, they're like, "Listen, we just don't think it's stereotypical enough for you to be a Muslim woman born and raised in the West living in a post-9/11 world. So why don't we just spice that up a bit and make 9/11 your birthday?" Yeah, so my birthday is 9/11. 91191, that's my date of birth. Now you know all my passwords. But I was on the phone with a lawyer one time, and he asked me, "What's your date of birth?" And I was like, "September 11, 1991. And he was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." I was like, the 9/11 or the being born part? Because my parents would agree with you more so on the being born part than the 9/11. I'm just kidding, they condemn both incidents, but really, I don't understand why people get so awkwarded out when I tell them that my birthday is 9/11. Like, where are you going with this? Are you somehow insinuating that my family carried out 9/11 as some sort of a birthday gift? Because they don't like me enough to put in that much effort. Like, they only remember because it's on the news. story. Anyone's mom trying to sell them to the highest bidder? Or just like the first bidder, like just the first one? My mom has spent my entire post-puberty life throwing me at every breathing man she sees. And like she gets mad at me too. She's like, Salma, why not? Just why not him? I was like, Mom, that's the mailman. This is our first time meeting. I really want to pick on someone here. You, sir, what's your name? Jason, do you know the name of what I'm wearing on my head, what it's called? Yes, give it up for Jason, everyone. It's called a hijab. I've been wearing it majority of my life. I often get a lot of questions about it. People often ask me, are you hot in that? The answer is yes. But I'm hotter without it. Yeah, when someone tells me that I'm pretty and I'm wearing that hijab, I'm like, you fool, you haven't even seen me in my final form. Here's a follow-up question though. Did you guys know that the hijab fashion industry is actually a multi-million-dollar industry? Yes. Yeah. You know how I know? Because white men are getting in on it. Yeah. Should have raided our closets, not our countries, am I right? This is a social justice workshop. Thank you for coming. Anybody going to any weddings this summer? Yeah, how many weddings? One? What? What's happening to our people? Is there a dry spell? Guys, if you haven't been to a wedding, you need to get yourself some Muslim friends. You know why? Our first date comes with cake and 500 other guests. So minimum 35 a summer. Has anybody ever caught the bouquet at a wedding? Yes. Are you married? Okay, I know it's because it's bullshit! Okay, nobody ever asks for the bouquet to be thrown, right? It's kind of like enforced upon us. Like we're all just chilling, and then an announcement goes off. And they're like, excuse me, can we get all the single ladies, everybody who binges Netflix till 3 a.m. crying over the crush that doesn't know they exist, everyone who's re-downloaded Tinder for the 16th time this year, please make your way out to the front. We're about to toss the bouquet. Right? And then everyone at my table is like, ugh, we're too good for that. And they're like, can people just go watch? They're like, can people just get closer? And they're like, okay, maybe we'll just rip a bitch's hijab off, okay? Give it to me! None of you can say that last line because it is a hate crime. Thank you so much, everyone.